Has anyone here heard of RAFT before? Maybe one or two. Maybe you read it on a parenting blog somewhere. Today I'm going to introduce the RAFT model: reconciliation, affirmation, farewell, and think destination. I think they probably could have done a better job on that last one, getting that narrowed down to just one word, but that's what it is. And this is created by someone named Dr. David Pollock to help international families transition from one place to another in the healthiest way possible. Transitions can be emotionally complex for children and adults, especially when they're leaving beloved friendships, routines, and familiar environments. The RAFT process helps you support your child and yourselves by preparing emotionally, not just logistically. Like a sturdy raft that carries us down a river, this model ensures that we can arrive well. Each step is crucial to helping your child feel secure, connected, and ready to thrive in their new setting. So we'll go through each of them together. Reconciliation is about helping your child resolve emotional tensions before they leave. This might even mean encouraging them to have a conversation with a friend they've been arguing with, or writing a note to a teacher that they admire but haven't thanked yet. If there are misunderstandings or regrets, now is the time to clear the air. Leaving with unresolved conflict can cause children to carry some guilt or anxiety into the next chapter of their life. This might be true for you all as well. Modeling reconciliation as adults within the family or within your community can also show children how to build emotional resilience and maturity in times of change. So that's the R in RAFT. Affirmation means recognizing the people who shaped our child's lives and experiences in this current chapter. Take time as a family to express gratitude to teachers, counselors, heads of school, classmates, coaches, and friends. Help your child reflect on who's been supportive for them. Writing cards, creating a memory book, or simply saying thank you helps your child feel seen and valued within the community that they're leaving. These conversations could be deeply meaningful and provide both your child and others with a strong sense of closure and appreciation. Affirmation helps your child carry positive memories into their new environment. So that's the A. Now for forgiveness. Goodbyes are important, not just for people, but for places and routines. Encourage your children to say farewell to friends and members and family or in mentors in the community in whatever personal way they see fit. Visit spots one last time. Take photos. Host a small family gathering. Even simple acts like walking through the school campus together or revisiting a routine like a favorite snack shop in town can help create emotional closure. Without this, children might feel unfulfilled or ungrounded in their closure routines. Saying goodbye honors the chapter that they're leaving and allows them to step into their new life with a greater clarity and peace. And finally, help your child mentally and emotionally prepare for where they're going. Talk about what excites them about the new school or the new country, but also make space to discuss fears or insecurities about a new environment. Involve them in researching their new city or their new town or place. Look up local customs, holidays, foods in that particular area that are supposed to be delicacies. Discuss what they like to try, how they might build new friendships when they arrive at a new place in the neighborhood or compound or apartment complex. Thinking about the destination will help shift their focus from what they're losing to what they're gaining. So how does Verso help in this way? Verso recognizes that international transitions can be exciting but emotional for students and families. To ensure that all learners feel welcome and supported, we have personalized onboarding. We try to start early when we know a student is coming here. with peer mentorship, having a buddy that might contact them before they arrive. Community building activities once people do arrive on campus, and creating a parent group and reaching out in that way. Maybe it's a specific ethnicity or cultural language group. Someone from that can communicate to the new families to introduce them to the area where they might be living, or school culture, etc. That's very important for new families. So then, new students are thoughtfully integrated into their loops with advisory groups. So we have a few advisors in the upper loop, and we are with them their entire high school careers. And that is often true in the other loops as well, where there's a trusted pastoral advisor, someone to look after them emotionally from day one. We also do check-ins after a few weeks of them being in our school community to see how things are going. Are they building friendships? How is that transition for them? Learning designers play a key role in helping them form connections as well by making sure they're included in the school groups that they have in classroom settings. Okay. For students preparing to leave Verso, we embrace the RAFT model to guide their emotional journey. We provide the opportunities for students to reflect, express gratitude, and say meaningful goodbyes, and also reflect on themselves. So we just finished up our final reflections in the middle loop, and we did the same thing in the upper loop. After reading a letter to ourselves that we wrote at the beginning of the year, I asked my students to do a reflection that mirrored what Safira had done in the middle loop, which essentially asked them for a few broad categories. How have they grown, and is there anything that they needed to finish by the end of the year? And something I like to share with my upper loop ones, if you have a few weeks left of school and you're never going to see someone, you need to tell them you love them, or you had a crush on them for many years, now's your chance. If you don't say it and you go away, you'll forever regret it. So I try and implant that little seed early on for our families. Through intentional conversations, personalized support, and transition rituals such as these, we help learners leave with confidence and a sense of closure. And that is the RAFT method. So for families that are excited about the transition to university, which might not be any of your children right in the room today, but we also have part of the Universally Well course, a research methodology, if you want to call it that. It's not as intense as all that. But we do look quite deeply into the schools that students are thinking about applying for, where they might end up as they narrow down that list. And so I do an activity called a deep dive, and that is where we research not just the university and things that are very basic to find out, like where is the ice cream shop on campus, where is the school medicine facilities. We look at what is the political leanings of the environment outside of campus. What is the safety like in the zip code in which the school is located? Who are the people demographically in that school group? And can you find your people within this group for language, ethnicity, religious background, cultural identity? And these are the things that we spend a bit of time on to make sure that every choice that is on an application list reflects a place that they would feel happy and safe living in, not just learning in. So I call that my university deep dive. A lot of this information is public. You could just search a zip code and find out a lot about a place, and it's not necessarily linked to the university itself. But we also then find the campus clubs and communities. Are there mental health services, and are they included in the tuition, or do you have to pay? Where do you refill your prescriptions? Things like that. We look into those things. Once we know a little bit more detail about a university, it really helps us feel like we're there. There's also online U-Visit, Y-O-U, like YouTube, but it's U-Visit. You could actually do a pretty in-depth tour with an avatar of a human being that pops up and kind of guides you through a campus, and it's free. You have to just click through a few spam links, but you could see and feel what it's like to be on that campus, and they often highlight student services. And then as a student is admitted to a university and you pay your deposit, you're going to start getting links to these images. The ones on the right are from Admitted Student Day, where a university knows that over the summer there's something they call MELT, which is people who have signed up to come but never actually came. They melted away, they went somewhere else. So their goal is to really, especially nowadays where people are more keen to find a better deal somewhere sometimes. So they have things like Admitted Student Day, and especially since COVID, things online, many online webinars for admitted students to get you connected, to make you feel part of that university so that you don't make a choice to go somewhere else. And things like the middle picture here, this is from like a Facebook group for admitted students, and this is mostly run by a student organization or a student sponsor from the university, and helps you find a roommate. So if you click on that page, it's a bunch of people talking about their, I don't want to say like a dating profile, but it's like, hey, I'm this, I do this, I like this, I sleep late. And it's for people to meet and then decide if they want to be roommates when they go off to university. So you can start building those connections before you even arrive on campus. And that's especially important as an international student, where you might not have been able to go visit physically or meet people. And then the one on the left here is about a specific ad for a webinar for campus diversity groups. So within the admitted student time frame, or even before or after, universities are trying to connect to individuals in different marginalized identities especially, but larger groups as well, because they want people to feel that they're home there. And sometimes you could just go to class and you could go back to your dorm and you don't really feel a sense of connection. And this is a stereotype of certain ethnicities that say, just go and learn and come back. I've heard that quite a bit from my families in my previous school. They're not there to really make friends and embrace that. I've also heard of the golden vacation, which is the 2-year MBA that you get after your undergrad, and you go and enjoy UK or America for a couple of years, and then you come back and you go to work, because that is like a cheaper way to live and have a sponsor for a visa. So whatever your reason for going to a university, doesn't matter, but they want you to feel connected while you're there. And so they host all these events. There's many free events from things like the Baptist Student Union that does barbecue every Thursday. So regardless of your religion, you go for free barbecue and you maybe sit through a 15-minute speech, and then you enjoy your meal with your friends and you move on. But there's so many ways that the colleges and universities around the world want you to feel connected, and they're happy for you to engage in those. So as your child transitions to a university or another school of some sort, make sure they're connecting to those moments where they feel like they could be a part of something. And that's how we feel good about our environments. So essentially, that's Verso's transition program, RAFT, and then following through for university guidance.